Ladies and gentlemen, I am back, and I do apologize. I wasn't planning to be gone for that long, but I was convinced by my family that the game was taking a bit of a toll on me, and I should take a moment. So I decided to actually lay down for a minute. So I did. Well, remember, we would have beaten the game yesterday if not for Second Quest. And please remember, we've been using a guide and cheating. Just process that. Oh no. Oh no! It's a donation. My one weakness. Hold up. So I just looked at the upcoming dungeon. It sounds like Princess Peach is here.
The power of the stars is restored to the castle. And it's all thanks to you. Thank you, Mario. We have to do something special for you. Listen, everybody. Let's bake a delicious cake for Mario. Mario!
Okay, so thank you, Savicom. I do always appreciate you. I do. I don't know what I'm going to put that towards, because it's not loaded yet. No, it's your fault. You have to accept that it's your fault. Otherwise, I can take that joke in a lot of directions, actually. Oh, let's let that go. GTA 6, Elder Scrolls Online, and Naruto Ultimate Storm Legacy. You got it. Do I have a cheat for infinite rupee? I don't think I do. If I'm almost positive I don't. Okay. Thank you, Nordame. Always appreciate that support as well. Thank you. Let's go towards Guild Wars 1, Guild Wars 2, and Xenoblade 3. Done. Well, unfortunately, I don't think we have a cheat, so you know what that means. It's grind time. Yeah! This is what everybody wants to do in a Zelda game, is go grind. That's grind. Grind. It's okay, we only need 100 rupees. Well, plus, 100 plus rupees to progress. Thank you very, very much, Dragon Player, as always. I don't remember Snufkin. Is that on the list? That's true, I could use the money-making game. I didn't even think about that, you're right. Hang on. That's going towards Snufkin, Pathfinder, Raw of the Righteous, KOTOR 2. So where's the nearest gambling hall? I need to gamble. Oh, it's like right here. This is perfect.
Thank you so much for playing my game.
You're welcome. Let's go play another game. So Frieza actually brought up a topic before the break, and then I got distracted by the absolutely garbage game I'm playing right now. So I apologize for that. It's a question that's actually popped into my mind a few times as well. Is it boils down to, is lazy difficulty always a negative? That's really what that boils down to. And the answer is, of course not. Nothing is always at anything. Or nothing is always at anything. Nothing is... I can't work... What? You saw that, right? That guy really wanted me to keep gambling. Good lord. Okay, so no. Let's do this one. There we go. That should be enough for now. Okay, so we got some money. Damn it, Judo Joker. I meant in the game. I meant in the game. Now we've got enough money to pay the tax man. I remind you, it's mandatory. At some point, I swear I'll beat this game, I swear. Chris Tales, ESO, DBZ Kakarot. Thank you, Judo Joker, so much. Always and ever appreciate you. Thank you. Frieza brought up some very good thoughts about it. Really, Platonic. We have a long-standing tradition of giving a negative for what I call lazy difficulty. But we actually haven't always given that negative. And the reason why, I suppose, should be self-apparent. It's because there are plenty of situations in which that's not necessarily a bad thing. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm reading this map. This dungeon is so ridiculous. See, the best thing is, I could actually beeline right for the boss if I had a key. One key. This is such a wild dungeon. Check this out. So there's one key door. In the whole dungeon, actually. Just the one. And it's the one leading to the boss. So you could be like, I could go left, and then warp, down, right, and then I'm there. I'm at the boss, but there's a key door in the way. So I have to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 screens of the entire rest of the dungeon to get one key. Or I can go buy one. But that is wild the way they line that up. So I'm going to stop hurting my thumb trying to kill these guys legitimately and just mash into their faces. Anyway, so difficulty. Frieza actually made up an interesting point that, in fact, here, let me just use his direct words here rather than trying to do elsewise. And I just lost the use of my sword. In simplicity, the laziness that affects the difficulty isn't what actually makes the difficulty negative, but rather a negative when they're padding and add nothing else, which I do admittedly agree with the concept of. It also adheres to the overall core concept of what a negative is, something that makes the game worse. This kind of ties into that game being too easy topic that we've actually talked about semi-recently. This came up, oh god, I don't remember. There was actually a game a while ago, which I had to sincerely debate. God, are you kidding me? If we actually were going to give a negative for the lazy difficulty, even though it was clearly lazy difficulty, because thank goodness we could turn it down to easy, otherwise it would be overtuned and badly designed. You just And I do have to admit, I can think of several games I would rather they have their... God damn it! Oh my god! Why? Why is this a thing? No, okay. Oh my god, Antlers. This freaking... Oh, jip, that, up. No! Ah! God damn it. Okay, fine. That's fine. So, are you on my Discord, Dragon Player? You probably are, because you're asking about that at all. If you're not, then I'm afraid you're truly dead. If you check the pinned messages for that, there's actually a link to it. If you're on like mobile or something, I can help you out here a minute. Cheat codes usually do tend to be a positive, if they're well-designed cheats, which admittedly they're not always. Fun cheat codes and better cheat codes are more positives, etc., etc. Holy moly. But you're, of course, absolutely correct. And I admit, the line between difficulty options and cheats is so blurry that it actually doesn't exist at all. Both are a tool the game gives you to try and tailor the experience. Oh, no, I think we actually managed without. In order to better change the experience to whatever you want it to be. Whether you want to be wandering around as a Tauntaun, or... It's just for the map, whatever. Or if you want to one-shot everything, or, you know, if you want things to be beaten your face in, or whatever. The biggest gap there, I would say, this is just speaking from observation, is that most cheat codes usually don't make the game harder. And proper difficulty tuning up is something I really value as well, for obvious reasons. Again, the error example of that is probably going to forever remain StarCraft 2. Hey, Russ. See, this is hilarious. Are you checking this out? This is actually kind of clever in its own right. All of these enemies, you don't have to kill them unless you're coming back. So you're given a choice, like right off the bat here, right? You can kill all these enemies as we're going through, and then in the doing, open up the way backwards so that we can retrace our steps. Or we could get to our actual destination, and then die, now that we have the key, and just, you know, not have to do all that. That's an interesting choice there. Whoops. Oh, come on. Also true of Frieza. Part of the big problem for me comes down to the fact, and the reason I called it least difficult and have called it least difficult for so long, is because it's such a no-effort thing to add a slider somewhere that says HP damage. And as you so very accurately pointed out in your message on Discord, the overwhelming majority of the time, all that does is add padding. The amount of times in which the damage actually increases the enjoyment of the game is so microscopic that I actually can't think of an example off the top of my head. I'm sure there is one somewhere. In fact, I actually had this discussion with someone at one point, because they were like, how can you be in favor of not using scaling damage, but you can be in favor of Oko mode, because Oko mode is functionally just, they do, you know, ridiculous damage. And the answer is, because Oko mode requires careful design of everything else in order to match that. If you make an Oko mode in a game that has unavoidable damage, then you have made an uncompletable game, or at the very least an uncompletable mode, right? You have to design your game such that you can avoid all damage, otherwise an Oko mode cannot happen. Good design, right? See Metroid Dread for a good example of that. And honestly, Breath of the Wild, while we're on the subject. And, you know, multiple Devil May Cries, there we go, have done the same thing. Nah! Well, okay. Could you... Blue, 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 blue! There you go. Other than the obvious Mother Brain fight, I don't think Super has unavoidable damage. could be wrong, but I don't think it does. It wasn't designed that way. It's just kind of a coincidental. So, Antlers, if you don't mind sharing. Why is this one your favorite? Other than the spiral. Is it just the spiral? It's the spiral, isn't it? It's always the spiral. Ross, what movie do we have to discuss? Be honest with me. Break me down. Strike me down with all of your hatred. I need to ask Spartan something too when he pops back on. Brave Little Hellscape. The game that absolutely is not meant for children. And by game, of course, I mean movie. But everything's a movie. Or everything's a game. Ah, crap. What? Hold on, what? Hi, Act. Well, I agree with you, Blade Joel. I do think that the damage and health of enemies and bosses should be designed. It should be carefully tuned to actually be worth the damn. Yeah, Frollo is an NPC, I think is what we decided to. Or did we decide Rogue? God, I don't remember. No, he's Rogue. I'm sorry, he's Rogue. He's Rogue. It was Ratcliffe, which was NPC. Not including Master Quest? That's a good question. I think Ocarina is, I don't want to say padded. That's not quite the right word. What is that Bull's voice doing? But Ocarina is definitely a little bit more on the padded side than some Zeldas. I think it's just a literal consequence of the fact that they were doing the 3D thing for the first time. And so, you know, the world is big and levels are big and it takes time, and you get the general idea. I never really realized this until two things entered into my sphere of acknowledgement. One was when I started doing speedruns of Ocarina and then had to limit myself to only doing child percent, because even a child percent run was like a 4-hour run. The other is when I started doing randomizers, because Ocarina randomizers actually became very unfun because it just took so much time to go check a specific chest or a specific area to see if there's any items there. In fact, I've never completed an Ocarina rando specifically because of that waiting period. Now, that probably sounds bad, and it probably is. However, all of the actual gameplay portions of Ocarina are quite dense, and are honestly pretty solid gold for the most part. So I think it is going to primarily have really good density, except when it doesn't, which I know isn't really the answer you wanted, but I mean that. I think for the most part it's going to be pretty solid. Moweep. Moweep. See, Moweep is actually a good example of how to do padding properly. How to do weighting properly. I know I like to bring out FF6 when it comes to how to properly do weighting, but no, Moweep is actually a good example of it too. Why? First, and most importantly of all, it doesn't last very long. If you're going to force the player to sit there and wait, don't make it particularly long. Honestly, anything over a minute is probably too long by itself. And the Moweep is really only like, what, 12 seconds? It's a fairly short period of time, as it should be. What's Moweep? Have you played Ocarina, Playtable? Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. Moweep feels longer than it is, but it isn't. That's important. Second of all, and this is important, It's funny. So, yeah, exactly. That's pretty much the Unknowable name hit the nail on the head there. You want it to be long enough to be memeable, long enough to be noteworthy, but not long enough to be irritating. If it gets to the point where it's irritating, you've failed your player. Can we not reference the Ego Raptor video, please? We even brought that up in chat, or rather in Discord, not too long ago, and it's like, can we not? It's an old video. It's such an old video. I disagreed with it on my Zelda ruminations, which were what, 9 years ago now? It's not like the dude doesn't know his things about game design. 8 years ago, Jesus Christ. Yeah, anyways. And that is all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to acknowledge it anymore. The dude was clearly trying to get some clickbaity info, you know. Hey, I've got a fresh and interesting take. Look at my video. Stuff going on. Very, 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 very common. Please tune in for why Zelda 1 sucks. Hi. Exubasi, what's up? I'm having a better stream since I laid down. My family pretty much told me flat out, Laura, go lay down. And I was like, okay. I actually got a solid hour nap in, which is pretty rare for me. So, a little more fresh, a little more refreshed. A little less wanting to die. Second Quest is so terrible. I'm pretty sure Second Quest by itself deserves... It will score worse than Zelda 1. Like, without it. I'm saying that wrong, but you get my real point. So if I go left, then I have to go back through the entire dungeon again. Just letting you know. Actually, no, Ross. I've been doing a whole lot of little things to improve my sleep schedule. For example, I don't drink water for a few hours before I go to bed. I make sure to get exercise, not in the evenings, but in the mornings and the afternoons. I've been taking iron supplements because there is a possibility I have a bit of anemia, because it runs in my bloodline. No pun intended. I don't remember the whole list. There's a few things. There's a few things I do. And I usually do something at the end of my night that has nothing to do with anything. In my case, it's usually dishes. Just a way to mentally de-gauze for a bit. So I need D, right? Yes. So, remember we went farmed rupees? Well, here's why. Now, hang on. If we went the other way, we would be... This is so mean. This is so mean. If we went the other way, we would be in another room like this. And it's a one-way room, which leads back to the beginning of the dungeon. And there's no way to backtrack and get back to this. So we would have to go through the entire dungeon again. Which brings me to Blade to Fall's question. Would I give the second quest by itself the garbage tag? Yes. 100%. Absolutely. I fundamentally think that almost everything they're doing here is actually bad design. I think that they are doing unfair design. I firmly disagree with the idea that Second Quest is hard. Because it isn't. This is not hard. Zelda 1 is actually pretty decently hard, and a lot of that difficulty is even good, like well-designed difficulty. Second Quest is unfair. Now, I know some there's a market for unfairness. After all, Lost Levels, and of course, some of the worst of the Souls-like clones. But okay, do I need to kill these? Oh, okay. Where am I? Wait, what? No, that's right. That's right. I need to get hit by blue. Now, obviously, Second Quest is the best. You never answer me, Antlers. Second Quest is the best ever, and I would never dare gainsay elsewise. Admittedly, and I've been thinking about this, I can't think of a world in which I wouldn't ding all of this section for what the Second Quest really is. I've actually thought about that several times, because it's me, and I care about that kind of thing. Like, optional hard mode? No, this isn't an optional hard mode. This is just, you know, additional content. This is mythic difficulty, right? That's a bad way to put that. And no, I would not give Master Quest the garbage tag. I was curious why you like this dungeon, Antlers, if you don't mind giving me the perspective on it. I will admit, and I mean this with sincerity, that's probably the best dungeon in Second Quest so far. And I'm not just saying that to placate anybody. Because, like, it finally started getting away from some of the absolute bullcrap of, like, for example, Dungeon 6, which pissed me off so hard, I needed to take an hour nap. Slight exaggeration. Which is funny, because that means both level 6s suck to a different extent. Hi, here's likes, red anti-fairies, blue wizrobes, and red wizrobes. I was actually thinking about this. Check this out. You know something that the Zelda series is really well known for? Bosses. Now, Zelda 2 is probably where that comes from, because it's certainly not this game. The bosses in this game barely qualify as bosses. In fact, the wizrobes are a bit more bosses than that. And I decided to look up some stats on that. Blue Darknuts and blue wizrobes actually have more health than any boss in the game. And red wizrobes hit harder than anything other than Ganon himself. And most of the other enemies hit as hard or harder than most of the bosses in the game. Those are the bosses. Where's my document? Where's my document? That's true, Ross. That is true. It's just weird to me. Oh, God. You know what? That's probably exactly why that's true in Breath of the Wild. Because that's not true in, like, every other Zelda. I mean, yeah, there's your super optional stuff, but for the most part, the bosses are kind of the thing. It's a whole aspect of gameplay. Anyways, we're almost done, believe it or not. And then I'm going to have to go and look at my notes. I will say this, and this sounds mean, but I have no nicer way to say this. Nothing has ever made me think more positively about Zelda 1 than playing Second Quest. Yeah, we need a bee suit. That'd be legit. I don't quite understand you, Ross. So I'm going to go with yes. No, I've put a freeze on buying all Switch games until we find out about the Switch 2's backwards compatibility, Sean. See, the thing is, my Switch is a first-gen Switch. It's not super great. It has a couple of... Like, it's not as optimized as the hardware of some of the later versions. And I am down to my last good pair of Joy-Cons. The pair that I still use. So, in the interests of future-proofing, I'm kind of holding off on purchases until I find out what's going on with the Switch 2. I mean, they can, Ross. That's the worry. There it is, maybe. Level 8. Okay. This is an interesting dungeon. Oh my god. Right out the gate. Red anti-fairies. Wow. Oh, I haven't played, I think, a single bit of this game today with in-game music, Russ. We got through most of the vanilla quest with in-game music, though. All the way through Dungeon 9. Yeah, new Joy-Cons are expensive. Rather not deal with that if I can avoid it. Oh my god, what am I supposed to do here? Oh god, Frieza. I don't even want to know, do I? And we definitely want the lion key. Which is going to be over there, it looks like. I would totally do that, Bregman. I'd look like a fool, but I'd do it. Sorry, I'm reading the map. I'm trying to figure out where it wants me to go here. So it looks like if I go all the way up there... That looks like where I want to go. Okay. Thank you for answering, by the way. Antlers. Woo! Just gonna do that. Which room, Antlers? Because we're already past that. I don't know why I did that. I want bombs. Oh, maybe I don't want bombs. Yeah, these enemies right here, by the way, are much more irritating in Zelda 2. Holy crap. A lot of early deaths to those guys. The stair before the bow, where you get dropped into the spiral. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The you're ready to die room. Completely screwed that up. Whatever. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, God, that took me like, what, 5 deaths to get through? And that was knowing it was coming, because I had a map up. Eesh. That was before we were cheating, obviously. Okay. Come back, Blue. Come back, Blue. Okay, there we go. Got one key. I hope you brought some bombs. Because now it's Dodongo time. Still don't actually know how to get that trick working. I did it on the NES remix. I know I did. Because me and my friends sat and did that. It was like a party game, right? We would hand off. I would do one, and then like next person would do one, next person would do one, and so forth and so on. And if you fail, then you hand it off to the next person, and they attempt it. And this is the one I got. Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna give up. Just gonna try to kill him the old-fashioned way. Sure, I'll take that. How did that not work? How did that work? Whatever. No. Ugh. Okay. We kept our sword. They may take our lives, but they'll never take our swords. Jesus, this room. Okay, where am I going? Where am I going? Looks like, up? Hang on. Where are we? You know, that's fair enough, but well. Oh, I'm totally going insane, Star Wars. 100%. No, this is what I want. I want to go left. It's okay. It's the easiest enemy in the game. Stealthos. That can, I mean, they are kind of easy at this point, but they can still shoot those blades. Because, you know, second quest. Okay, there we go. We're cheating, sir. Cheat mode has been engaged. Honestly, I got pretty far without any kind of cheating. We were in level 6 of second quest. But I'm... Like, I would kind of like to beat this game today, you know what I mean? So... After level 4... God, level 4. Anyways, so we have the Lion Key. Woo! Let's see, how do I get to the boss now? Looks like F? Or is that E? God, I can't even read that. The raft room. Yeah, it looks like an E. Yeah, no, the raft room was what kept catching me. Like, I had beaten the boss, was fine, and then I kept not having bombs. And so I kept having issues killing the Dodongos, which respawn, by the way. So I kept having issues killing the Dodongos. And then you get to the actual raft room. And those two rooms, I think, by themselves were something like half an hour. Just those two rooms. Because, you know, start all the way back, go all the way through the whole dungeon. Not a lot of enemies that drop bombs or health on the way. And you have 3 health and no bombs. And you need health and bombs. Did it! Okay, so I want to go back to here, it looks like. See, I thought that was kind of weird. I mean, it makes sense. But, like, a lot of the non-boss bosses, like when there's dungeons with 3 bosses in a row, none of them respawn. So I found it weird that those Dodongos weren't coded such. Okay, I accept that. Oh, there's Master Hands, right. Hey, Master Hands. Or Wall Masters, what the hell you're called. Yeah, they were teasing Smash, that's what it really was. Of course they did, Mr. Red. Actually, one thing I did glance upon during the lunch break was an interview by Miyamoto, who flat out admitted that he wanted players to try random things and then trade information with each other in order to encourage that kind of community thing, which I don't know if that succeeded. Specifically with Second Quest. Like, he specifically put no hints for anything in the game and pushed for that so that players would have to try random things and then trade that information with each other. So what's the fan remake change, Action Man? I mean, I am already further than I've ever been in Second Quest. Have been for a while. Well, I make no promises with regards to Z2, but I have said for a while that I think 1 would score worse than 2. We'll see. It's a really big we'll see at this point. That's not where I thought I'd end up. I guess this works. This isn't where I was trying to go, but... Oh, glitter, glitter, glitter. And make sure to get your guesses in. We're actually approaching the end game relatively soon. See, the thing is, most of my memories of kids talking about games like these in the playground was about bragging and lying. And kids would just make up stuff like, oh yeah, no, I totally did such and such, or oh no, you could totally do such and such. And obviously, I didn't know at the time, but with the advantage of hindsight, no, it was all a bunch of lies. Pack of filthy liars. So we could go get the bomb upgrade, but I mean, why bother? They have infinite bombs. I didn't know Dodongos could drop anything if you kill them by blowing them up. By feeding them, that is to say. Right, I don't have the shield. That's why that keeps hitting me. Frickin' likes. It is to a new place, Czar, and I have not found a new place yet. End statement. No, God, no. Being a kid sucked. Are you kidding me? Who would want to be a child? Ugh. Hey, that Metroid dude, he was a girl. Bull crap. It's Mr. Metroid. It's Dr. Metroid to you. Thank you very much. Spent years in Metroid school. What heart am I missing? I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, if you don't want to grow up, you can be a Toys R Us kid. Okay, I'll let this song play, because it's an awesome song, but then we'll go back to the in-game music. I know I'm missing the magic rod. I kind of deliberately skipped that one. It's okay. Toys R Us will be with us forever. How the hell are you supposed to find this, by the way? This... How do you find any of this stuff? Alright, yeah, we're missing the rod, and something. I don't know. You're not supposed to find this. You know, I believe that. So I've got a map here. An infinite map of hell. Yeah, I don't see any grumbles, and I don't see any bees, so that's good. How do I get up there? Okay. Oh, the music quit. Alright. It's time for Savacom's favorite song in the game. Behold, the greatest song in Zelda history. Wow, that is a lot of one-way doors. Holy crap, that's a lot of one-way doors in this dungeon. By the way, I'm closing off the guessing game very soon. Wow. Who is it, Ross? Cool. I'm sure his studied career will do him service. Oh my god, how do I get over there? Okay. Sorry, you're gonna have to give me a minute. This is a labyrinth in the non-literal sense of the word, because I don't remember what it literally means. But holy crap! Okay. Okay, I think I have a route. Holy crap! Let's see how wrong I am. Blue land molas. I think the only ones in the game. If I remember correctly. Bunch of likes to try and take your shield from you. Assuming you even have one at this point, which you probably should, because this dungeon has those little statues that shoot things everywhere. Like, a lot of these rooms are just, hey, here's such and such, and also something that shoots you. Now, I actually want to go up, but we can't, so we're going to do a little side trip here. Into a room with many red anti-fairies. We're just going to immediately nope out of there. By the way, this is a one-way door. More red and blue anti-fairies alongside widrobes. Hold on, whatever. If we go right, it's a one-way. And we're trapped. And we have to loop back, so we want to go up. Damn it, I think he hit me. He did hit me. So if we go right here, we're trapped. I gotta go hit by the blue guy really quick. You like wizrobes, right? Like, you really... It's almost like Zelda 2 only put wizrobes in, like, one section of the game because they knew. Like, there's a wizrobe dungeon in Zelda 2, and then that's kind of it. And in this game, they were like, just pepper a few dozen more out there. It's fine, it's fine. People will like that. They like wizrobes. Everyone likes wizrobes. Ugh, okay. Now, if you can go left or right here. If you go right, not only are you back on a bad loop where you have to go loop back to the entire dungeon. By the way, that's the third time that's been true. But the room to the right of here has 7 red anti-fairies in it. Seven. Just gonna avoid everything here. If I reviewed all the Pokemons, which would review the lowest? Gen 1. That's not even a question. Okay. You got your guesses in, right? Because, like, we're there. Yeah, no. Pokemon Red, which is on the list for eventual reviewing, will score the worst. I pretty much guarantee it. Now, the second lowest, as much as I think Gen 2 did a lot right, and, you know, fairly well codified. Oh, wow. Several people guessed a positive number for this. Even though, Gen 2 did a lot right and codified a lot right, the truth is Gen 2 would probably be... God, I need the silver arrow, don't I? I actually forgot. I legitimately forgot. Okay, okay. I can work with this. Maybe. I might not be able to work with this. Okay. I think I can actually make this work. Hang on. If I go to the right, that's Ganon's room. And then we're soft locked. So we're gonna go into hell here. Hang on, let's see if we can bulk wrap this. Okay, so this is... I keep the wrong button. I want to go... there. Hey, Spartan. I meant to ask you, and then I forgot because this game was destroying my brain. What do you like about Last Jedi? I mean, other than the fact that you're clearly mad, insane, crazy, wild, and, literally Hitler. But, you know, the non-obvious reasons, right? So if we go down here, we are trapped. Beginning of the dungeon. Again, I think that's our 4th time now that that's happened. 5th? God, I've actually kind of lost track. Oh, right. And this is like, what are you doing? Ganon staring at me. Death to Ganon. Retro is always better. This has to be a good game. It launched a franchise. That's how that works. Bad games have never launched a franchise. Never. Sorry, I'm double-checking, like, I'm actually triple-checking the map, because I really, really, really don't want to screw this up. Okay, so this is where I want to go. Now I have to figure out how to get back to Ganon. You know, I'm probably the only person in the world who doesn't mind Luke turning on Kylo. Like, it's one of the most commonly complained about things I hear about when it comes to Episode 8. And that barely even fazed me. But then again, you know the thing that bothered me the most. Yeah, Warcraft 1. Great game! Another game I hope to review someday. It's pretty much everything to do with the slow-mo chase, honestly. Like, I could point to a specific thing, but everything to do with the slow-mo chase just makes me want to tear my hair out. The slow-mo chase itself, the just staying out of range, the fuel thing, not being able to jump thing, the absolute refusal to do anything tactically with regards to the situation, the holdo maneuver, the bullcrap about keeping information from Dudeface being an idiot for no goddamn reason, planet side quest, which they were able to go off to another planet, do a side quest, and then come back to the fake, to the slow-mo race that was happening. Everything about that sequence is why I don't like TLG, right there. And that is being completely honest what I remember most. I will admit, I've never watched the movie a second time because it pissed me off so much that I never felt the desire to. Can I get back there? I think I can. Hang on. So I have to go up, up, left, down, left, down. Nope, that doesn't work. Okay, Of course you did, Uthor. Okay, I know that you like to be a little contrarian, but you have got to explain to me what you liked about the slow-mo chase and how extremely stupid it is. Please. I could use the mental distraction right now while I try to figure out how to go back through this stupid place. Oh, Kylo and Rey were great. In fact, if I had to pick one individual moment that I hate most about the film, it would be the hyperspace ramming. But the second would be when Rey refuses Kylo and doesn't join him. Because I was like, yes, join him, do it! Start something new. Throw all that old crap out the window. No Jedi, no Sith, no garbage. Do something new. You two work great together. It's two talented actors who are doing great and actually have legitimate chemistry and have a complex backstories, and I'm with it. She's a nobody who was raised up to be nothing and just crawled her way to the top. He's someone who's told he's amazing and is this great dark thing his entire life. Both of them hate their past. Both of them have so much to gel with each other, and both of them could have done something new. And then she's like, nah, you're evil. And I'm like, no! You were right there. I was so into that. Yeah, me too. I'm sorry, Cool Noodles. I apologize to everyone who likes Second Quest. I do. I don't. I don't know what else to say at this point. Okay, where am I? I am there. How do I get back? Can I get back to C? It looks like... No, I can't, because that's a one-way door! Oh, man! I think I have to go through the whole dungeon again. I think I do. Okay, so... Okay. I gotta figure out how to get through the whole dungeon. Okay, so I think this way. I think. That's a one-way door, by the way, that we just went through. There's three other one-way doors that lead into this room, so the only way out is this way. This, if we could go north here, that would be nice, but we have to go left. It's the only option. Oh, never mind. Going north wouldn't help, I think. So, can I... So I can go up or down. But I can't go left here, so it doesn't matter. And if I go up, then I'm looped. So, yeah, okay. So let's go down, because it's the only option. Alright. So, kill all. No, I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong room. This room. So... I think this might... Nope, because that's a one-way. No, I think I can make this work. Sorry, I didn't mean to use Spartan. Yes, I did actually like most of the character stuff in TLJ. Rather legitimately. Okay, so now we go left. Or we can't go left, can we? Oh, no! Okay. Hang on. I think I can bullcrap this. Could you teleport up here, please, so I can kill you? Please. Thank you. Could you teleport up here, too, please? Thank you. You're so accommodating. Thank you so much. All right. I'm sorry. What is LM3? Rain 36. I knew it, Uthor. Look, it's Throne Remix, dude. If you're having any kind of issues, you're doing it wrong. Oh, Luigi's Mansion. Oh, man. Luigi's Mansion 3 is so good. I actually have a current review up about it, Rain 36, and it scored very highly. Great game. Okay, so now I have to go down. And we did it! We're at the beginning of the gate. We're at the beginning of the dungeon. We made it! We've completely looped. Yay! So that means, and this is not a joke, that means by design you have to do this dungeon twice. Even if you know where you're going. And even if you have a guide, and even if you make no mistakes, and remember, we came across, I think it was up to 6 total spots where you could go the wrong way, and it's a one-way, and you have to start over. If you go perfectly through the dungeon, you have to go through the entire dungeon twice. Well, most of the dungeon, I should not the whole thing. Wow! Where am I? I am... God, I'm actually lost now. Hang on, let's move this over here. The enemies aren't completely bullcrap. That's nice. I'll take it, you know. Not being crapped on is something I enjoy. I'm not Biff Tannen. Oh, for God's sakes. That's where I'm going. There we go. Okay, so then up, and then left, and then right. One-way doors. A lot of one-way doors. A lot of one-way doors, my god. Sure, Ross. Look, the answer is probably because I'm an idiot. Like, honestly, if you ask any question, it's probably I'm an idiot. I'm the moron who can't review games. I'm the moron who can't beat Second Quest. I'm the idiot who gives negatives to games that are beloved. It's me. Is there a reason I skipped the magic rod? Yeah, I'm ready to finish the game. That's why. Actually, Atomic Heart should probably be removed from that list at this point. I suppose I admit I have absolutely no interest in it, and nobody's been donating towards it anyways. So I can go ahead and remove it from the veto list. Whoops! I did not mean to do that. Happy Thursday, TSB. I am unironically surprised about how well First Quest scored. Really. It was kind of fun, even, to play through it. Honestly, I was actually, as with so many NES games, I was enjoying myself quite a lot until I got to a certain point, which was floor 6. Just making sure I am where I think I am. Which I am. Okay, so yeah, up. And floor. Ow. Saints Row 2 hasn't changed last I checked, Dr. Winter. Okay, so. Where am I? Here we go. Final boss time. It's time to kill Chaos. And then we'll do third quest. You never get a level above the level 1 sword. You start the whole game with 1 heart. And every single room in the entire game is actually one long series of one-way doors. If you go the wrong way at any point in time, you instantly go the wrong way and die. Also, they added this durability mechanic. By the way, fun fact, you can die to these flames. If you have low health and don't know that, you can just walk up and die to those flames and start over. Time. Listen, seizures are our speciality. Actually, the ending should be extremely slightly differently. Here we go. 80 deaths! That's way lower than I thought. I'm gonna be real. That is way, way fewer deaths than I thought. I have an amazing wisdom and power. End of The Legend of Zelda 1. Actually, as I'll talk about tomorrow, I'm not going to do a third stream tonight. They were already planning for a Zelda 2 because, you know, the NES, the Famicom was already going well and strong and doing quite well for itself, and they knew that they were going to try and push this. But like I said, we'll talk more about that tomorrow. See, now I feel bad for taking a nap. I could have just pushed through the game. Maybe 15, Shell Pangolin. So let's do the audit. And what better music to play during the audit of Zelda? What's like the opposite of Zelda? What's like the most non-Zelda game I can think of? Cadence of Hyrule. But I like Cadence of Hyrule, although it does have some banger songs. It's not a bad point. Just for you. Just for you. Loud. I just realized that's two NES exploration games that are deliberately vacuous and empty to create that sense of foreboding dread. I personally don't think either of them succeed at that, but that is interesting to consider. Yes, I did, Maverick. Cadence of Hyrule, Spartan's Wife. Good game with a great soundtrack. It scored an 89 on the Golden Number. Yeah, over the last week, several people kept saying, man, Zelda 1's going to score better than Breath of the Wild. And I kept being like, no, I don't think that's the way that's going to go. Like, Lord knows Breath of the Wild was pissing me off for a lot of the padding central part of the game. And I'm not going to deny that, but no. If Zelda 1 scored better than Breath of the Wild, then something's very, very wrong. Probably with me. I do agree with that, what both Jesse and Noctis just said. Breath of the Wild should be one of, if not the best scoring Zeldas. Like, what should happen in an ideal world is Breath of the Wild should have crushed every Zelda before it. We should have been talking about, you know, what's going to be the second best Zelda, because it should have been obvious it's Breath. Oh, it scored pretty well, Maverick. That's the funny thing. It's still got a net 80 golden number, which I suppose doesn't sound impressive, but it is. You know what? Fair, Ross. I keep forgetting tears exist. That's on me. Okay. I'm just gonna have to redo this, aren't I? I'll just redo this really quick. 80 is good. A lot of people will get a little bit, trying to think of the word, biased when they see games that score 300, not remembering that those games are like the best games ever across 40 years of gaming history. Anything above 60 is honestly really good. 0 to 60 is still good, and obviously it's a gradient, but 60 is about what I usually call averagely good, and when you start going up from there, you start to get into the great territory. Okay. In fact, I can actually tell you the literal average, because I keep track of that. Right now, our literal golden number average is 73.82. Now, that's skewed a little bit, but that is actually the average of every game we've reviewed so far. It's gone up a little bit, because last year we covered some of the best games ever made. Don't worry, the nest block will drag that down, I'm sure. Time to review Superman 64. Hint, it is exactly as bad as the memes say. Speaking of someone who's actually played that game. I streamed that game. One of the weirdest early insults I ever got. Stuck with me. It was someone who, this was a long time ago. It was someone who said, look, I wanted to see the actual worst games ever, not just copy-paste whatever AVGN did. But that amused me for two reasons. First of all, I didn't actually know who AVGN was at the time. That's what made me aware of him. But second of all, as is obvious, those really were games that I had played that were terrible, that I just wanted to share with stream. Has AVGN ever covered Secret of the Stars? Probably be a lot funnier than me about it. That sounds right up his alley. Yeah, I know he covered, like, Final Fantasy VI because it's Final Fantasy VI. But that's, I think what it took for him to cover that. I have heard of the Dark Cloud series. I've never played it. You know, I've never heard of anyone say this is their favorite game of all time. I actually know a lot of people who like this game, though. If it makes you feel any better, Antlers, I'm kind of on the flip side of that. And again, absolutely no insult intended. I've never liked Zelda 1, even when I played it as a kid. And that always made me the weirdo. I always felt like, this is kind of loud. Okay, whatever. I'll try another song. I always felt like the weirdo who just didn't get it. You know, the freak kid who just doesn't like things that are popular because I'm trying to be unpopular or whatever. You know the thing. You know the type. And that's the perspective I've always had on this game. And I always worried that coming to this, I would get a lot of people, which I haven't so far, which would just slam down on me and be like, what's wrong with you? For not liking it. But yeah, I was actually about to say, although I'm not done with the audit yet, so this is not 100%, but I really think I was actually enjoying the game until we hit the second quest, for whatever that's worth. And I know that that's in total opposite to you, and that's doesn't really mean anything. But I continue to repeat that because the thing that weirded me out the most about reviewing this game is how much I was enjoying it. Now, my enjoyment went up substantially the moment I started using a map. I actually talked about that even during second quest. The moment I started using a map is the moment second quest just smoothed out a lot. And I was just like, oh. Like a lot of the frustration just seeped out of me. Yeah, no, I heard a lot from kids back in the day. I'm 42, so, you know, I was in grade school when this game came out, and a lot of kids were like, oh my god, you know, how far have you gotten? How far have you gotten? And I always felt so stupid, because I was just like, I mean, I you know, just doing my own thing. But it is funny to me, because I can say definitively I enjoyed this game more as an adult than I did as a kid. I'm not sure what to make of that, but it's true nonetheless. My favorite game of all time? Well, I mean, at the moment it's StarCraft 2, because that's the highest rated game. Past that, I don't know. There are a lot of games we haven't covered yet. We haven't covered the Kingdom Hearts, we haven't covered the Final Fantasies. We haven't covered WoW. Yeah, I haven't covered Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VI. The so-called big ones. Now, see, I'll tell you exactly how the Zelda 2 run will go. Really, I can tell you right now. This game is great. This game is great. This game is great. All right, we've just beat Dungeon 3. We might cheat in Zelda 2. We might just open up that cheat flag early and just be like, yeah, we're just going to start save stating, because holy hell. That game needed another 3 quality polishing passes. We'll get there, though. We'll get there. I've often felt that Zelda 2 is kind of the Final Fantasy VIII of the Zelda series, for those of you who understand what that means. And for those of you who don't, a lot of people decry FF8, and especially since when it came out, as the worst FF ever. And nothing like a proper FF. What is Nino Island, Cycloud? Yeah, Zelda 2. I'll talk about that in a minute. But then there's It's the one that some people are like, oh, this is the worst. It's terrible. It's awful. I hate it. And then other people say, no, you're unfair maligning it. It's a misunderstood representation. And then there's people who have real opinions who are usually in the middle somewhere. And then there's just two people shouting at each other on either side. Would I rather play a Windows version of the game or a Games for Windows version? The former. Games for Windows was garbage. And it doesn't even work anymore. Huge hassle in playing games from that era. Yeah, we're going to go back through it, Maverick K. We're going to go back through Ocarina and Majora. There was a caveat in doing so, but that caveat has been met, so... Well, the caveat is called Master Quest. We'll talk more about that later. I mean, so I've said this before. I don't know if you've been here for me saying this, Wolf Alex, but I have never reviewed FF13 in any format. I've only ever lore runned it once, and a lore run has nothing to do with the review, so I have no idea how good or bad FF13 is from my own perspective, and I have... We'll see. It could be much worse than I think it is. It could be much better than I think. It could be both. Like, maybe some things are better and some things are worse. I have no idea. I actually have been quietly pushing a lot of dealer's choice to FF13. Just because my curiosity is getting the better of me, and I kind of want to review the game for the first time. Yeah, we're doing Arcane a little bit differently. We're going to be covering Arcane every Saturday morning, as opposed to the rest of the shows, which we'll just cover back to back for the rest of the week. Damn it, TSB, no! Why would you put the crosshair anywhere but the middle of the screen in an FPS, Plutonia? Oh my god, you're right, Jesse's Mask. We will continue to have to keep giving a negative to FF10 for unskippable cutscenes. It's been years. Patch it in. We have a fan patch that gets rid of the cutscenes in FF10. It's possible. Yeah, no, it's probably going to be a triple because, like, it's not just unskippable cutscenes, which is its own problem. It's unskippable cutscenes before, before you run into bosses, or unskippable cutscenes before you go into an irritating section, or unskippable cutscenes, and then like several minutes or even longer before you get to a frickin' save point. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1 fixed that. Why didn't... Thank you, TSB. Always appreciate you. Much appreciate. I'll put that towards FF13 and in other waters, and goodbye Volcano High. Yeah, look, Unalesca, which is what, like a 5-minute cutscene? Before what is arguably one of the best, but also hardest bosses in the game. Like, it's even a good scene. It's actually one of my favorite scenes in the whole game. That's not really the part I'm thinking about when I go through the nonsense. Okay, that's what I thought. Hey, Mr. Floyd Pickerton. Welcome to the audit. The second audit, to be more clear. Oh, God, Maverick A. No! Yeah, speaking of someone who likes FF10, there's a lot of asterisks to liking FF10. Don't worry, we won't actually do the entire monster arena. I don't know if it's... I think you do, Ross. Now, granted, you have to actually work at it. You have to physically take effort to die to the last boss in FF10. But if you do, yeah, I think you'd have to go through all of that nonsense. Oh, man. Delicate Affection from Trials of Mana R. If you know what this song is, Mr. Red, you're fired. I'll hire you and then fire you. No, why is everyone donating? That's another thing. Sorry, I meant to say something else. I'm sure Atlas is pieced out because I'm terrible. But something that has come into my awareness as very recently as this year is that I actually am kind of a freak. In a way that makes me feel embarrassed if I'm, like, I don't know, something's wrong with me. Because the overwhelming majority of people, in fact, I would bet everyone in chat, all have specific reasons for picking a favorite such and such that don't really have to do with the quality of that thing. And that's not an attack. A movie that really makes you feel something because it connects with you in a personal way that other movies don't. Maybe it's subject matter is really important. Same thing with a game. Maybe it reminds you of something that happened in your life that was really significant at that point in your life. Maybe it's unique in a way that nothing else really touches on. Nothing else really does that particular thing. Or at least doesn't hit the right notes. Doesn't really Tetris you the way other things do. Yeah, that's the norm, near as I can tell. And that's why I'm the freak. Is because I've said for years that FF6 is my favorite game of all time, but it's because it's a really, really good game. You know? Like, that's what I value. I value the quality. Well, let me use a direct example. Star Wars Rebellion is not a good game. It's a game that does something unique that literally nothing else has ever done. You to this day, we have never had a second game that is effectively a grand strategy Star Wars game. So that's unique and it's special and it's awesome. And I want to like it more than I do, but I don't because it's kind of a crap game. Right? I'm the freak because the quality is what actually matters to me the most, whether or not it's actually good, whether or not it actually is something I enjoy, regardless of any personal connection or attachment, which is why I mentioned earlier that StarCraft 2 functionally is my favorite game of all time, because I don't think anything's beating that, with the possible exception of WoW. I'll use Huthor as an example. I'll pick on Huthor for a second. It's okay, I'm allowed. He's British. Huthor values things that enjoy, that have, like, allegory, or significance, or touch on things that, like, have a solid message or thematic core to them. Whereas I couldn't care less, right? Like, if you do this big, impacting, deep, emotional story, and I'm like, yeah, but, like, you can see the strings, and the wallpaper sucks. Why does the wallpaper suck? And that's all I can see. I'm a robot. I don't know. I feel very stupid. Thank you, Drakaji, for the sub. Or for the donation, rather. Always, always appreciate. Very muchly. I will put that towards Eastward, Unicorn Overlord, or Star Fox. Or, excuse me, and. I don't know why I said or. And the Star Fox block. Thank you. So now I'm in the unenviable position of having to rate how replayable Zelda 1 is. Well, I mean, I'm never going to be at the level of Total Biscuit. Man was a legend. And see, Blade Duval, you've actually mentioned that before, I'm pretty sure, Blade Duval, that my grading system is designed around what appeals to me, but the problem is, while that's absolutely true, what appeals to me is quality. What appeals... I don't know how else to put that. What appeals to me is something that's very well designed and very well constructed. Maybe I just spend entirely too much on the behind-the-scenes side of things, right? Like, I've been studying cinema, I've been studying game design, I've been studying all kinds of stuff, like television productions. I've literally worked in television productions since I was a child. And it's entirely possible that because I'm coming at it from that angle of being a geek about the construction of things, that I tend to value the kind of effort that goes into those, and I understand and appreciate those extra little nuances and details, those quality of life features, those interface changes, the proper cross-referencing of details and design, and blah, 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 blah. Guilty pleasure games. No, I don't have any guilty pleasure games. Like, I have games that are, you know, bad that I have enjoyed for one reason or another. It's easier to enjoy a bad game when you're cheating, for example, or you're playing it with a friend. But as I've shown before, to use an example that will absolutely make everyone hate me, I don't think Secret of Mana is a particularly good game. I think I enjoyed that game because I used to play it with Gary once a year. Because it's a co-op RPG and there's not a lot of those. And it's a big visual joy and it's got wonderful music. But Secret of Mana is not that great of a game. We'll see, Blade Duval. Take that as a compliment, Star Wars. Thank you. Now, I've never reviewed Seiken Densetsu 2, or excuse me, 3, but I do think Trials of Mana R is a good game, with a terrible story. Just, what were they thinking? That's the N64 one, right? A noble name? If that is, would you believe I've actually played that game? In fact, I've beaten that game. Oh my god, I think I'm his #1 star. It really is terrible voice acting, but the story is what pulls me out of Trials of Mana R. It's just... wow. The one I played ends up with them... This is slight spoilers, I guess. Ends up with them going to space. And it's like a giant mech battle. Maybe this isn't all three of them. I don't know. The main villains are theater people. I think you're right, Shiali. Also true, Ross. No, Korgoth. No. I'm good. One thing I do try to emphasize a lot is that, unlike some internet people I could mention, some internet reviewers, I have absolutely no desire on putting shame or blame or casting shade on you. If you tell me you enjoy Metroid 1 and legitimately mean that, awesome. And that's my honest response to that. If you tell me that you love Zelda 1, awesome. If you tell me that you played Secret of Stars, you enjoy it, get your head checked. But also, awesome. There's no judgment here. I have no interest in that. I'm going to judge this, but not this. It's been mentioned before that one of the reasons... I enjoy Franbo. How? Okay, we're okay. The best cinematics in WoW? I assume you mean the pre-rendered stuff, in which case... I want you to know that this physically hurts me to say this. But the answer is BFA. Old Soldier is so good on so many levels. It is Blizzard's art team at their best. They showcase they show so much in seconds without saying a word. There is so much detail in every single second of those cutscenes. It's bonkers how good it is. It hurts me that that's in BFA. Yeah, that's the one about Varrock Sourfang. Now, if you mean the in-game cutscenes, Antlers, I actually agree with you about Warlords. One of my two favorite cutscenes in the game is from Warlords of Draenor. Can you guess which one? I like that this is the title theme for BFA. It's on random, by the way. Just putting that out there. Actually, no. It's the final cutscene for the Frostfire Peaks or Ridge. God, I can't even think of the name of it. Frostfire Ridge. God, I can't talk. The Frostfire Ridge finale. That is. Oh, that's what FFR means. Yeah, that's in the running for my favorite cutscene in that entire game. Bonus points if you can guess the other one. I'll give you a hint. It's not Warlords. It's not Warlords. It's a damn good scene, though. The Frostfire Ridge one. Knee-jerk action, Ross? Knee-jerk answer to that? Picard at the very end of Best of Both Worlds Part 2. Just staring out the window. Because it's actually better than that. It's more than that. He grabs the teacup, and he goes to sip it. And it's such a good scene. He's sitting there. And he's trying so hard. He's trying so hard to be just another day at work. And the moment the teacup reaches his lips, he can't bring himself to drink it. He can't. He just stalls. All emotion drains from his face as the trauma of it smashes him right in the face. You could actually see, God, Patrick Stewart is so good. You could see the PTSD slamming into his brain, and he just puts the cup down. And then he goes and he looks out the window because he can't even. It's so good. Having said that, no, it's, oh, no, Antlers, oh, yeah, Antlers hasn't guessed yet. I'm not going to say until Antlers gets a guess, though. That is a really good scene, Huthor. BFA had weirdly good scenes for being BFA. I am my scars, Antlers. Now, first of all, it's a very well done scene. A lot of little details, a lot of little nuances. Again, that construction thing, right? There's a lot going on there in a very, very short period of time. And it's also... I'm trying to put this into words. It is such a proper culmination. It is the moment at which Illidan's story arc has actually ended. In a good way, though. It is concluded. That is when his story arc has finished. He keeps being in the narrative, but for all intents and purposes, he has now left, and his arc is finished. The light fading from Terrellian's eyes, the nature of how the sword worked, the revelation of how the Naru functioned and operate, and the fulfillment of something that had been hinted at for years at that point in time. It's kind of the same reason why A Red Dawn Rises is my favorite scene in Return of the King, Lord of the Rings. Because even though there's arguably better scenes, that scene is the stamp at the end of a tremendous amount of build-up up to that point. And that adds to it, right? That adds to that moment. I mean, Huthor can do math. That's okay. We're not here to judge. Hey, see, we were just talking about inches amongst miles. There's a lot of good scenes in Return of the King. I know a lot of people whose favorite scene is for Frodo. That's what I thought. So, audit concluded, but before I tell you the actual score, I just want to share this, not that anybody cares, but the score for the first quest actually did go up. I actually don't know, Huthor. To -30, which I suppose is not, like, great, but actually that kind of is. The vanilla quest going up to -30 is a decent chunk up, and that still puts it at the head of several other first games we could mention. Make of that what you will. But then there's second quest. So let's tally up second quest. You smoke meth? Do you inhale it? How do you inhale it? Could someone do me a favor really quick? Oh, never mind, it's right there. Alright, here's the big question. Did this game outperform Metroid 1? That's the question here. What do you think? Before I line this out, what do you think? Be dinner soon, so I need to hurry up. No, that's valid, Uthor. It is. I will also always admit that there's good stuff in BFA. I can't, just by the very nature of who and what I am, I can't look at something that I dislike that has good parts and ignore the good parts. Because there's good parts, right? There's good things in it. It's just how I think. BFA has quite a bit of good in it. However, having said that, it is currently being debated which expansion will score worst on the story axis when it comes to WoW. And BFA is one of the ones in the running for that. We'll see. I have no idea. No, it would be Shadowlands next. Okay. Time to make the entire internet hate me. Zelda 1. -3 on story, and yeah, that might be the only one like that. We'll see. Yeah, time to cancel me on Twitter. That is 0.6 negatives per hour with a story ratio of 0. Enough said. There is actually some interesting story in Zelda 1. It is entirely in the manual. Which doesn't count for the... Anyways, gameplay. Counting second quest. That is -38. That is 2.86 negatives per hour. That is a gameplay ratio of 20.31%. Giving us our final golden number. Hang on, real quick, before I tell you this. Metroid 1's golden number was -123. Okay? So this game's golden number is -100. 0.6. It actually, ironically, the audit brought the score quite a bit up. There were several gameplay positives I accidentally right over, like 5. So, looks like Trihexia guessed, although I don't think Trihexia is here, which is a damn shame. Okay, Trihexia, I need you to pick something other than Winx Club, because we've kind of discontinued streaminations, so you can't put it towards that. Doom block. You got it. That I can do. Tomorrow we play Zelda 2. I swear it's on random, Antlers. But yeah, tomorrow we play Zelda 2. I've already given predictions about Zelda 2. But I will freely admit, I kind of have no idea how this one's going to turn out. So I posit to you a very simple question. We've established a line. Negative 100, almost on the dot. That's Zelda 1. Is Zelda 2 going to be higher or lower? See you next time.